now that we got that out the way, thank you, man.
That's good, bro.
Yeah. So what we're gonna talk about first, we're gonna talk about the shoes. But first, we wanna just talk about the situation right now, man, with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery. And I feel some type of way because that's in Georgia. That's where I'm from. So, you want to start off on that, just with everything going on?
Yeah, bro. This situation in this country it's been wild.
Yeah.
And I know you real hurt because Atlanta, Georgia is kind of like your hometown.
Yeah.
Seeing that city in flames, man. But our people are tired.
We're tired.
Yeah. So it's just unfortunate of the stuff going on in this country.
Right.
R.I.P. to George Floyd.
R.I.P.
First and foremost.
Right.
Yeah. So, it's just.
And I think the crazy thing about the situation, I think a lot of people are focusing on more of the looting than the actual problem at hand. Like, this is my thing about it. Like, yes, looting is bad. I don't condone that.
Yeah.
But the thing is that there was a life taken, well, multiple lives taken, by systematic racism. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the fact that that's not being talked about, and it's talked about how that we're looting when it's not really us looting like that. It's encouraged by some other entities coming from not even from their hometown. They're not even from there.
Yeah.
And they're like destroying places like that. So I think that needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we have a lot to get to, but you have any more on that, just about like the situation we're in as a whole?
I mean, honestly, bro, I hope things get better.
Yeah.
All these petitions people are signing. I love to see it. The Black Lives Matter movement on Twitter, IG.
Right.
I love seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love seeing Black businesses thrive, which is why I'm here. So, that's all I gotta say, bro.
And I think we need to continue to keep that same energy though, because we talk about like Black businesses and how we're so for it now, but let's keep that same energy for the next 6 months, for a year, for forever. You know what I'm saying? So we need to keep our money circling within us, and not with just Black businesses too, just with small businesses. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if you can circle it within us, we can make a big change. Because that's what the Jews did.
Yeah,
that's what they did.
Straight up.
Yeah, they. I mean, the term ghettos came from Jews, from that. So I think what they did, they set up their own system. They had their own bankers, they had their own lawyers, and they only spent their money within their system. And we had that, but that was burned down. That was. Where was that at? Where was that? Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Tulsa?
Yeah, Tulsa.
What was it called?
I believe it was. I think the when you say the name Tulsa, that's what.
Right. Do y'all know what it's called? Remember I think it was like the Black.
Yeah, there was this thriving Black community, and then it got burnt down to the ground.
Right.
Black Wall Street also got.
Black Wall Street. That is Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
That is Black Wall Street. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, we had that, but just people who are a little bit envious of us, didn't want us to succeed. So.
It's a shame.
It's a shame.
But we gotta, we're gonna keep rising.
Right.
That's what we do.
So I guess now that we got that out the way, I guess we can talk about. I mean, what do you? How about this? How about when you were younger, how did you view education? Like when you're in elementary school coming up, like how did you view education, and how did that affect you too?
I mean, I grew up on the East Coast, so it's predominantly, I'm surrounded by my folks out there. So, just viewing education was like kind of ingrained in my mind. Like, my parents are Ghanaian, so like, they're always like, oh, school first. Right. And I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna get them straight A's. You know what I'm saying? Nothing less. So it was really like.
So you were like really good in school.
Yeah, I was.
In like grade school up into college, because I know now you're transferring to
UC San Diego.
UC San Diego. So congratulations.
Yeah. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah. So you said that it was ingrained by your parents, right?
Yeah.
And then was it when the area you were in, was it like encouraging? Like they encourage you to strive?
In PG County, I mean,
this is in Maryland.
Yeah, Maryland. Yeah. I mean, I went to Woodmore Elementary, and it was somewhat like encouraged.
Yeah.
but it was mainly more of, it wasn't necessarily like the school encouraging us.
Yeah.
It was mainly like a cultural thing.
Okay, dope.
So, I mean, yeah, so that was, education was the first thing in my house.
Yeah.
So, like,
was there any like hardships that you went through?
Oh, of course, bro. Like, for real,
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
I mean, it's kind of sensitive, but hey, I'll just use this platform to say it. It's like, you know, because I guess because I'm different, I'm African.
Right.
People in my school bullied me and my brother.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
was this like the time where everyone was saying African booty scratching and all that stupid stuff?
Yeah. So it got to a point where I kind of kept quiet about where I was from and who I was, because I saw what my brother went through.
Wow.
Because he had just came off, you know, he had just came from Ghana, so he still had that accent. He still had his, you know, like the way that he moved was different. Like people could tell, like, you're not from here. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So seeing that was kind of traumatizing. Like, oh, they calling him that name.
Yeah. So you felt like you had to assimilate and switch up.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
So it wasn't up until, like, I guess towards the end of high school where I really started like coming out, and it wasn't up until I really got into Umoja where I was just like, I'm Ghanaian. Yeah, I'm Ghanaian. I'm proud.
Yeah.
So that's one of the hardships that I went through.
Yeah, shout out Umoja, Norco College, because I wouldn't even be looking at education the way I do if it wasn't, you know, for Umoja. So
straight up.
So I'm gonna use this platform to say, please, like, surround yourself with good people, you know, and that want to see you succeed. But that's crazy that you said that you had a good time in grade school. I had a horrible time, bro.
Horrible time? Damn.
Yeah. I mean, I think I told you, I think on one of the trips, I think it was Mr. Davis. But, in high school, grade school, I was a bad student. Like, I was trash. And I wouldn't say, it was my fault too, but it's also my environment. You know, people, I remember I went to this accelerated school called GSMST, and I was in it, and I felt like I was doing good. And it came a time where I was like, maybe this is not working out for me. And so I went to the counselor to maybe, ask like, hey, is there any like solutions or anything I can do to like help? And then she was like, well, maybe you're just not supposed to be here.
Whoa, bro. Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
She straight up told you?
Yeah. She was like, I don't think you're supposed to be here. She was like, I don't think this is a good fit. And so just me being like a 14-year-old kid, I was like, well, damn, yeah, I guess I'm not. So I know
that's baffling to me. Like, what race was she like?
It was just like a white lady. I don't think she meant any intent, but maybe it was just internalized.
You don't say that to like a 14-year-old.
Yeah. So when she said that, I was kind of just like, you know what, you're right. And as an impressionable kid in high school, freshman year of high school, I was just like, I took it in like that. Also, one more story I want to tell. I want to shout out Miss Crutchfield, but not for the reason that you think I'm going to shout her out.
Okay, for sure.
She was a great teacher, and she did really push me, but I didn't even get to walk for my graduation.
Straight up?
Yeah.
Damn.
So I didn't get to walk, and it was because I had to do like 2 more credits, and I passed all my classes. Actually, my senior year was my best year. I got like A's and B's, except one class, and it was math. This is a class I never went to. It was the beginning of the day. I was like, I don't even want to come here. So, and me just being a black kid and her being a black teacher, I figured like, oh, she'll pass me on. Like she got me. Like, it's cool. Yeah. She was mad cool. I was like, oh no, she's gonna pass me on. Like that's just how it goes in my mind. Because that's what happened before. Like, usually like the cool teacher would just pass you on, give you a 70. No child
left behind.
Yeah, give you a 70, and like that was straight. But I remember, all of my family came out from California to Atlanta, and I didn't get to walk. And it was like, I cried, bro, because like, so I was there, and then my mom got a call. It was like 2 days before I was supposed to walk. So my mom gets a call. I'm in a room, like picking out my graduation outfit. I got some. Yeah. I had some fits. I had some. Some.
You was ready for.
Yeah, some of my Jordan 3s on.
Okay.
So I had those on, and I was just like waiting, like to walk. And then my mom comes in my room. She was like, Elijah, what the fuck? She was like, you're not gonna walk? And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, I just got a call from your counselor and she said you're not going to walk. And seeing her say that and seeing like the tears in her eyes, made me tear up. So I had to go in that day and kind of beg my teacher and beg the counselor to maybe pass me along. So I went and I called Miss Crutchfield, and they called Mr. Crutchfield from the office, and she came down. She was like, "Hey," and I was like, "Is there anything you can do to make me like pass? Is this like I have my whole family coming out? Like I can't just like not walk."
Yeah.
She was like, "Elijah, like what did you expect?" She was like, "You didn't even come to class." She was like, "If I pass you along now, you're not gonna even learn your lesson." And I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, and I was mad. I was like, I wasn't ready. I was like, it was like I wasn't even like ready for that, And she was like, "You're like, why would I do that?" She was like, "You never went to class. You never showed up, and even if you're in class, you were sleeping." So she was like, "Why should I even pass you along?" And then as soon as I went home, I cried. I went to my friend's house, my friend Eduardo. Shout out Eduardo. And that was probably one of the hardest points of my life, just seeing everyone come out for something that I was supposed to do and wasn't able to do it. Like graduating high school is like the bare minimum.
Yeah.
I couldn't even do that at the time. So I just felt like a piece of shit. Yeah, like I was like, damn, well, if I can't pass high school, I can't go to college. Yeah. Like, this is trash. Yeah. And so I want to pose the question to ask you, is there any teachers that you look up to in a positive light? And I say I look up to Miss Crutchfield because she pushed me. I don't know where she is now. I would like to get in contact with her to really say thank you, because if it wasn't for that, I would have just been like any other black boy, with stereotypical black boy who's just been like pushed out the system. Like they just put you in and put you out into the world, and you just have nothing to show for it. So I was going to ask you, is there any teachers that you looked up to and that gave you that extra push?
Within high school?
High school or college.
Okay. Yeah. I'll start off with elementary. My elementary school, Miss Cash. She was a brilliant African American teacher. Like she really knew how to motivate us. Yeah. As students, like I did do well in elementary school, but there was a point where like I was really terrible with math.
Oh shoot, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like everyone.
Yeah.
But we invented that.
Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah.
We invented math. Yeah. Egyptians. But go ahead.
And she really pushed me. She would call my mom. They would schedule meetings and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Granted, like I was a very creative child, so she was like, okay, Fred is kind of slacking off. Well, they didn't say my name, Fred, but Frederick is slacking off. I would like doodle on the paper and draw and all that. Yeah. And she was like a second mom to me at school.
That's dope.
So, and I would kind of get picked on. She would, be there to defend me. And she was always somebody that I could come talk to. Right. When it came to high school, it was mainly my language arts teacher, Miss Weber, and then it was also my other language arts teacher, Mr. Lang. Okay. Those two really were like the teachers that I can say with my chest that really believed in me. You know what I'm saying? They were always calling me to speak on a certain I guess reading that we were doing in class. They were always calling on me to just read something. And they were always pushing me. So like when I was slacking off in high school, like she was like, I think it was either Mr. Lang or Miss Weber that told me like, you got a C in this class, but you're not a C student. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
She knew you were better than that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So those two really pushed me. Mm-hmm. And then when it came to college, you already know.
Let's shout them out right now.
Yeah.
Shout out Mr. Davis. Shout out Miss Anita Bailey. Dr. Hill. Miss Jimenez. Miss Jimenez. Yeah. Who else? There's plenty more. But
Natalie.
Natalie. But who was the teachers that you looked up to? Or the educators that you looked up to? Or that you, let's say, like, that pushed you in college? Like, who are those people?
Out of the people that we just listed?
Yeah, or it can be just anyone. Because when we say educators, I think it's gonna get it twisted. Like, this shoe isn't just for Black teachers. Mm-hmm. It's for like you and me. Yeah. You know, because we're Black and we educate each other. Yeah. You taught me a bunch of stuff. I think I could say maybe I've taught you something. Yeah. So this is like, don't get it twisted. This is not a teacher shoe. You know, it doesn't have to be for old Black people. It can be for us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
there's nothing wrong. I think Malcolm said that, you know, education is the passport to tomorrow. So there's nothing wrong with trying to educate yourself in whatever it means. So, exactly. Yeah, I feel.
But who are the teachers that in college?
I think the first one was really my psychology professor for Intro to Psych, Dr. Adams. Okay. Bro, her class was tough.
Really?
Yeah, her class was tough.
This is when you first got here, right? Or was it passing?
It was my spring semester, 2018. I think, 2018. And man, that class was rough, bro. Yeah. And I had just done terrible in the fall of 2017, my first semester in college. Yeah. I had dropped like 2 classes. I failed English 1A. Damn. You was in there, bro. You was in there. I had failed that class. I got a D. I had dropped my communications, public speaking, because like I had like mad anxiety. I hated public speaking. Mm-hmm. Now I'm cool with it. But I passed stats, and I think I passed what I think there was another class that it was Kines. Okay. So I did rough my first semester, but my second semester, it was my Intro to Psych class, Dr. Adams, and she had like the lowest pass rate in her when it came to her classes. Because like she's not no teacher that would just memorize this. Like you have to learn and understand the material. And that class really pushed me, bro. Like I spent hours studying. Yeah. I came out on top. So that's dope. In that class. So.
Shout out Dr. Adams.
Yeah, Dr. Laura Adams. Laura Adams. Shout out to her.
I would say the one in college that pushed me was, you have to be Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis. He pushed all of us though, like even Sebastian, like the way I came in, you know, he's very observant. You know, when he looks at it, because you know, was he in the army?
Yeah,
he was in the army, so he's very observant. So I remember I was coming in, I was super serious. I was like, I want to get my life like on track, because like I was in college like in Atlanta, but I wasn't taking it serious. Like I went to Gwinnett Tech, and it was just like I was like whatever, like good go in and go out. But this time I took it serious, and I found out that we had like a Black program like for Black students. So so I went in, and he was talking to me. I was put on my pen and paper and just writing out whatever he's saying. And he was like, "You think you want to be like in a leadership position?" I was like, "What is that?" And he was like, "Because he was like, you're one of like the only ones that I've seen like put out like a pen and paper to write down what I'm saying." And I was like, "Damn, I didn't even think about it. I wasn't trying to impress. I was like trying to like retain information."
You're like, "I'm trying to be successful." Yeah, like what's the deal?
Exactly. So like the reason why he pushed me, he can see things in yourself that you don't see in yourself. Yeah. Now I know he's like went to you multiple times. I remember you posted something on your story, and he was like really like congratulating.
And the crazy thing is, bro, like I wasn't in that mindset like of who I am today. Yeah. Like I didn't see my potential. Yeah. And I shied away from that. I was like, what? Like I don't want to be I'm just trying to go. Yeah. Come to school and then dip. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny that you bring up that he was like, I need you in leadership.
Yeah, so. And he does that only with people who he believes in. Yeah. And I guess we'll talk about one more thing. You said you want to talk about like the fashion aspect of Black businesses, or so you can go on top about that. Okay. Yeah.
Since this is kind of like on the topic, like I was watching this interview with Pharrell.
That's one of my idols.
Yeah. Shout out to Pharrell. Man. And he was talking about just like how people express themselves through fashion, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think art and fashion in general just tells you who you are as a person, you know what I'm saying? Like, just the kind of vibes that you give off. Yeah. Like, you know, with your whole Converse, bro, like, that's the whole vibe right there.
Yeah. Show them off to the people. Oh. Yeah. But why you talk about the Pharrell thing, too?
Yeah, and he was talking about how it's kind of like a part of your identity.
Mm-hmm.
And let me, if I could, you want taking a picture with these. All right.
So to that camera too.
Yeah. So.
But talk about the Pharrell.
Yeah, he was saying how it's a part of your identity, and like how culture, like him being like an idol, he would dress one way, and then the culture would try to
imitate.
Yeah, imitate exactly. And people would make fun of him and Kanye.
Yeah.
They made
pink
fun
polo.
of they made fun of Kanye for wearing pink polos because he was a rapper, and at that time
he wasn't wearing baggy clothes or jerseys. So.
Yeah, and wearing he was wearing gold chains, but like he was doing his own thing. And you just see it in every decade, like Tyler.
Yeah.
Like people were making fun of him because he was doing his golf stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's not, those individuals don't fit in that specific stereotype of being a rapper. They branch out and do their own thing.
And they paved the way, like for us. Like for
up.
all of our styles, if you look at us right now, like this is low key, like it can be an inspiration for any of them. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So this shoe right here, it's supposed to mirror a pencil. So what it is, you got the classic yellow pencil body on this. Then you also have like the off-white trim, and also the toe box is just a standard white with the standard classic pinstripe. Also, we have the leather patch right there, and also show the back too. And then the back we have the embroidered DTHB EDU. And like I was saying, this is not just for Black teachers. This can be for you and me, for anybody who just wants to support and wants to, just like vibe with us. I don't know. So
just anyone who wants to be educated, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
And that doesn't necessarily mean like, although school is like the main role, there are various ways that you can really educate yourself, like going to tech school and all that stuff. And just, just reading books and doing all that stuff. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So let me show the other shoe too. And the yellow one is low key my favorite, but this one's pretty dope too. So we have this one right here. This is called the Red Delicious Apple. And as you can see, it's a red, and then we have the tan toe box, off-white toe box, and also the DTHB EDU on the back. We also have the brown stitch rubber classic Converse All-Star patch. Also the fat laces. The fat laces was like the one that did it for me. Like I always like my shoes with fat laces. So like this was something that like I had to have, especially like LA culture. LA culture was like big on like fat laces on your Converse. Well, you can say New York culture too, because they put on the Pumas and the Clydes and stuff like that. But they need to have the fat laces to give it that extra flair. So this is called the Red Delicious Apple, and the yellow one is called the Yellow Wooden Pencil.
Yeah, I feel it, bro. I posted those on the IG, and people already started like, they caught, they see it. So.
Yeah, so hopefully it does what it's supposed to do. I guess one more thing that we can talk about is about the education system in general.
That's a big one.
Yeah, I just feel like for us, there's not a lot of representation. I have like a quick story. I was telling my friend about these shoes before it dropped. His name is Steven. He's of Asian descent. I don't know what he is, but he's of Asian descent. And I talked to him. We were in a car getting Chick-fil-A, and I was saying, who are two people you look up to? And I was like, actually name three. And he named two. He named one is Jordan Peterson. That's the psychologist.
The pronouns.
Yeah, he's dope.
He is dope.
And then I think he named Nigo from Bay. And then
that's a good one.
Yeah, and then he named someone else. But I think it was another Asian dude. And I asked him, I was like, do you look up to them because they look like you, or someone that has some representation like for your culture?
Yeah.
He was like, no. He was like, I look up to them because their mindset. I was like, well, you would think that, but off top, I mean, we as humans relate to people who look like us.
Exactly.
And I told him the story, like, all of our representation is just like we're thugs, or we're if we're fathers, we were not there for our kids. And, mothers, they like what's the stereotype for a black mother? Like
just abusing her.
Yeah, they're abusive or like they're just not shit. So I told him that, and I was like, well, the reason why this shoe is so important is because it's like positive representation of like celebrating like black educators and black culture in a positive way. Because how the news and how media likes to spin it is like, it's like
we're just a bunch of thugs.
We're just a bunch of thugs, just like some rappers, or we're just like some ball players. All we do is just play ball or rap or anything with sports. But I was like, no, like we've been educated, and it just hasn't been, illustrated for anybody. So that's what this whole shoe is about. I say, forget the Converse. Like, this is just the Converse shoe is just the vessel. Like, this is just like the vessel, and this is like the message, and that's really all it is. Like, yeah, it's cool that we had the chance to have like a cool collaboration, but honestly, the message is more important than the shoe. It's more important than the clothes. Because what I want to do, I want to just start something to where we can look at ourselves in a positive light. And if it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for Emoja, like I don't think we would have had that.
Never connected.
We would have never connected. I probably wouldn't even be doing this. Like I probably would even like had this like connection with this. So that's what the whole show is about. And like I just want to thank everyone for being here. Sebastian,
Jessica,
Nick. So like it's a blessing, man, and like just thank you for everything, bro.
Appreciate it, though.
Yeah.
Always, bro.
Yeah, and that's about it. So July 24th. Hold up that one too.
Alright.
So the red delicious apple, and that is the classic yellow wooden pencil. So July 24th, these will be dropping on our website only. So just be on the lookout, guys. Thank you.